So I was out here tinkering in the shop and decided that I was going to go ahead and replace this old zero clearance insert on my table saw, and thought that I would bring you along for the ride. So this is the insert that came with it when I bought the table saw, and I got it secondhand. The guy who had it before me used a full kerf 1/8 inch blade and had this hole cut in it. I use a thin kerf 3/32 inch blade, so I just spun this thing around, cut a new kerf, and I've been using it like that. I also added this MicroJig splitter on here, since this saw does not come with any type of splitter or riving knife. The problem is that over the years of using it, through blade vibration and probably inconsistencies with me getting this blade back to a perfect 90 degrees every time, the hole or the kerf in here has widened slightly, and I get little pieces of wood stuck in the sides, and plus it just doesn't look very good anymore, so it's time to do something different. I have seen some people do solid hardwood pieces like a walnut insert, and I really like the way that looks. The problem with that is you deal with expansion and contraction of the wood, which can mess up your zero clearance kerf and mess with the fit inside the slot. So what I'm going to do is take my stock insert, which fits a little too loose, put 1 or 2 wraps of tape around here, and we'll see what it takes to make it fit the way I like it. I'm going to take it and use double-sided tape and stick it to this piece of MDF, and I'm going to pattern route it on my router table to get an exact copy. And then I'm going to use a piece of walnut veneer on top, obviously longer than this piece, so that I get the look of a nice hardwood with the stability of MDF. After I get the piece made, I will use this jig that I made and used on the old splitter to install the MicroJig splitter into the new insert. Show you how that's done. Perfect. Okay, so now that I'm done pattern routing the piece, it's time to cut the slot. Now, for some reason, the blade in this saw only barely goes below the surface, maybe about 1/16 of an inch at most. So this will not go down in there without hitting the blade, and obviously I can't start it and cut it like that. The old one had these screws in the bottom for leveler feet for these little cast iron tabs, so if I take those out, I can drop this one down below the surface of the table, which gives me an indexing spot to hook this one in to make the cut. And you can see right here, I got a little bit of a gouge with the bit because I forgot that the one I was using for a pattern was not solid all the way across, and it kind of cut into it a little bit right there. So watch out for that if yours is the same. To clamp the board down for the cut, I'm going to take this old piece of framing lumber and put it across here and clamp it at the front and back of the saw because there's no place else for me to get a clamp on it. And then I will slowly raise the blade into this piece and make the kerf cut. Now, it goes without saying, you need to make sure that blade is at 90 degrees before you do this, or you're just going to ruin the entire project.
I changed the position of the board so you could see the blade come through the insert, but apparently forgot to hit record on my camera. This reenactment should give you some idea of what that looked like. Ta-da!
With the blade raised to its maximum position, we take this jig that I made when I did the first zero clearance insert, and you slip it over the blade like this. You take the back tooth of the blade, and yes, the saw is unplugged, and you line the tip of the tooth up with this little mark in the back of the gauge right here. Take the supplied drill bit and then drill your 4 holes.
To give the veneer a little bit of protection and make the grain pop, I put on some satin armor seal. It's a lot like Frank's Red Hot sauce for me. I put that stuff on everything.
Well, there it is. It's not a bad little upgrade for so little effort. If you found this useful, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel to see what I do next. Take care.